Pricing is the number one challenge I hear from building material suppliers. Price too high and you lose to your competitors. Price too low and you work hard without making any profit. But what if I told you that pricing isn't actually about finding the perfect middle ground? What if I told you that there's a way you can increase prices and make more sales at the same time? I am Mubarak Saidu, and today I'm going to show you the exact pricing strategy that has helped me build lasting relationships with major contractors, contractors who buy from me even when my prices are higher than my competitors. This isn't theory. This is what actually works in the Nigerian building materials market. So let's dive in. Now, before I show you what works, let me tell you what doesn't work. Most suppliers use what is called cost plus pricing. That is, they get their prices by adding their standard markup, let's say 5-10%, maybe 20%, and that becomes their price for every customer every time. But here's the problem with that approach. It completely ignores the market. In order to determine the price of your materials, you need to understand your true cost first. Then look at your market, then make pricing decisions, not the other way around. Now, let's start with step one, knowing your true cost. Most suppliers know their purchase price. You know you bought cement, let's say at 9,000 naira per bag, but that's not your true cost. Your true cost includes everything it takes for that cement to be ready to sell. Now, let me walk you through my actual cost breakdown for, let's say, cement. Purchase price, let's say 9,200. Offloading costs, 15 naira per bag. Transport, 15 naira per bag. Staff and handling, 15 naira per bag. Cake and damages, let's say 20 naira per bag. That's total true cost, 9,370 naira per bag. That's 170 naira above the purchase price. If I took only my cost purchase price, I would think I'm making profit when I'm actually making less. So here's what you need to do. Get a paper and a biro this week. List out every cost involved in your business: transport, storage, staff, damages, everything. Divide all these costs across your typical monthly sales volume. That is now your cost per unit. Only when you know your true costs can you make intelligent pricing decisions. Because here's the thing, you can negotiate with suppliers, you can reduce transport costs, you can minimize damages, but you cannot improve what you don't measure. Now, step two, understand your market position. Not all suppliers should compete on price. Let me say that again. Not all suppliers should compete on price. You need to decide, are you a premium supplier or an economy supplier? But you can't be both. Now, let me explain with real example. In day-to-day market, there are two major cement suppliers. Supplier A has the cheapest price, always around 100 naira cheaper than everyone else. His warehouse is basic, his delivery is slow, but his price unbeatable. Now, supplier B charges around 100 to 150 above the average market price, but he delivers within 2 hours. He has standby trucks. His staff are professional. He sends you alert whenever there's an increase coming. Both suppliers are profitable, but they are playing completely different game. Supplier A is saying, I'm your cheapest option. If price is your only concern, come to me. Supplier B is saying, I'm your most reliable option. If your project timeline matters, if you want a partner, not just a supplier, come to me. So here's what you need to do. Decide which game you are playing. If you're competing on price, then you need the lowest cost. Buy in larger volumes, operate efficiently, minimize overhead. Your margins might be small, but your volume will be high. If you're competing on value, then you need to offer something extra. Faster delivery, better service, expert advice, flexible payment terms, whatever makes you worth the premium. But don't get stuck in the middle. That's where most suppliers struggle. Not cheap enough for price buyers and not good enough for value buyers. Pick your position, then own it completely. Here is where it gets interesting. Step 3, value-based pricing. Here's how I increased my prices by 10% and gained customers. Yes, you heard that right. Higher prices, more customers. Here's what you need to understand. People don't buy materials. They buy solutions to problems. Let me tell you exactly what I did. About 2 years ago, I was competing mainly on price. My margins were thin. My business was stressed. I was always worried about how competitors are undercutting me. Then I changed my approach. I stopped selling just building materials and started offering additional services. First, I created a WhatsApp price alert system. Every Friday, I send my customers next week's expected prices based on market trends. This helps them plan their purchases. Secondly, I offer material calculations. A contractor calls me, tells me about his project size. I calculate how many bags of cement, how many iron rod, how many tons of sand he needs. It takes me about 10 minutes, but it saves him hours and prevents over ordering. Third, I became flexible with delivery timing. Most suppliers deliver between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. I deliver when the contractor needs it, even if it is 6 p.m., even if it is Saturday morning. Fourth, I connected my customers with other reliable service providers. You need a good electrician? I know one. You need a plumber? I can recommend three. You need a site engineer? I know several. Suddenly, I wasn't just a building material supplier. I became a construction resource, a partner in their project success. And here is what happened. My customers stopped comparing my prices to other suppliers because other suppliers were not offering what I was offering. I raised my prices by 100 to 150 per bag, and my regular customers didn't even blink. Some even thanked me for the value I was providing. Now, this is value-based pricing. You charge for the complete value you offer, not just the physical product you supply. Step 4, different prices, different customers. Now, before you think I'm suggesting something unethical, let me be clear. This is standard business practice worldwide. It's called price discrimination. And when practiced correctly, it benefits everyone. A contractor buying a full truck, 900 bags of cement, shouldn't be given the same price as someone buying 300 bags. The costs are different. The relationship value is different, and the pricing should be different. So here's my actual pricing structure. Individual homeowners, standard retail prices. They buy small quantities. They need more hand holding. They change their mind easily. Higher service costs, higher prices. Now, small contractors, about 2% discount from retail price. They buy more frequently. They know what they want. They are easier to maintain. Big developers and major construction companies. For these categories, it's no longer about discount. It's about offering them direct supply prices, which is just the landing cost plus a little markup. Why? Because they buy large volumes, they pay on time, mostly in advance. They are repeat customers, fast turnover, low risk. The key is to make these differences clear and fair. Every customer knows they are getting a good deal for their situation. A homeowner isn't upset that a contractor pays less because they understand that volume attracts discount. A contractor, on the other hand, appreciates the discount and becomes loyal. Here is your action step. Create three pricing categories for your business: retail, contractor or wholesale, and bulk. Make the requirement of each category clear. Communicate them confidently. This way, you are not negotiating every single price. You have a structure. Customers know where they fit. It's professional. It's fair. Now, step 5, communicating price increases without losing customers. Because let's be honest, in Nigeria's economy, prices increase frequently, and most suppliers lose customers not because of the price increase itself, but because of how they communicate it. Here's what most suppliers do wrong. Customer comes to buy cement on Monday. Price is 93. Same customer comes back on Friday. Price is now 95. Customer is shocked and angry. Why didn't you tell me prices were increasing? I would have bought more on Monday. Customer feels cheated. Trust is broken. Here's what I do differently. As soon as I hear about an upcoming price increase, maybe from my suppliers or maybe from market trend, I immediately alert my regular customers. I send a WhatsApp message. Cement prices likely increasing by 2 to 300 next week. If you have an upcoming project, consider stocking up this week. What does this do? Three things. First, it shows I'm looking out for their interest, not just my profit. Second, it often triggers immediate sales as they stock up before the increase. And third, when the prices does increase, they are not surprised. They were warned and they appreciate the heads up. When you communicate price increases with advance notice and clear explanation, customers see you as a partner, not as an opportunist. And and that difference is worth more than any short-term profit from surprising them with price jumps. Let's quickly recap this pricing strategy. Step 1, know your true cost. Calculate everything, not just purchase price. Step 2, choose your market position, premium or economy. Pick one and own it. Step 3, add value beyond the product. Become a resource, not just a supplier. Step 4, price differently for different customers. Volume and relationship matters. And then step 5, communicate price increases proactively. 1, maintain relationship, maintain trust. Here's what I want you to do this week. Calculate your true cost, not just your purchase price. Calculate everything. Decide your market position. Are you competing on price or value? Identify an additional service you can offer that your competitors are not offering. Do these 3 things and you will start seeing pricing not as a problem, but as a competitive advantage. If you found this helpful, subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm sharing practical building materials business strategies every week. In my next video, I'll be showing you exactly how to build millionaire relationship with contractors. These are the specific strategies that has helped me maintain loyal customers for years, even when my competitors are offering lower prices. Drop your biggest pricing challenge in the comment. What's the biggest challenge for you regarding pricing? I respond to every comment. See you in the next video. I'm Mubarak Saidu.